I think it's time. Yes, it's time to bring history back to life.
Cool, it's amazing.
Creamer Cats TV.
Do you like collecting? Then please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the like button because it does something very special. It makes you younger. Okay, I've done several YouTube videos of many original 1900s cars featuring some of the earliest motor cars on the planet, but let's take a trip to the 1930s. Here are two original sets of 1930s motor cars. These would have been the latest vehicles, but now they are considered classics. Several of my YouTube subscribers are interested in classic cars and inspired me to do this video, including Rambling Around, 805 Roki, Battlefield Doctor and Dirt Bike 5100. So after you've seen and rated my video, please check out their great YouTube channels and subscribe. Thank you. Trade cars are similar in some ways to racing cars. The aim of a racing car is to simply go from A to B in the fastest time possible. There is no point in overloading it with lots of fancy and unnecessary features, since the extra weights will simply slow it down and make it more prone to breakdowns. That simplicity and optimised minimalism is what makes those vehicles beautiful and elegant in their own right. The aim of trade cars, on the other hand, is to go from A to B in the longest time possible so that they can keep advertising the products that they're associated with, even when in most cases the original company doesn't even exist anymore. They provide a kind of symbiotic relationship between ambitious early commerce and the information-starved masses. They've been shaped and moulded by market forces like an artist sculpting in stone, creating something that can last many decades. That's why these cars are still around after 70 years, whereas other types of mass media, because they are vastly more complex, have not fared so well in the long term. Take the original movies, for instance, motion pictures. They might appear to be more exciting and engaging than the cars, but nearly 80% of the original silent movie reels have long since crumbled away because the material that the movies were stored on, nitrocellulose, is highly flammable and decays very quickly. What about the earliest radio broadcast? I recently did a video called The First BBC Radio Broadcast. The BBC, if you don't know, is the British Broadcasting Corporation, and he's one of the first. Anyway, lots of people clicked on that particular video, but they were mildly disappointed when instead of a crackly recording of the very first ever broadcast, they were greeted by sets of cigarette cards of pioneering wireless equipment and radio celebrities that made it all happen. Let's face it, recording of the first BBC radio broadcast probably doesn't even exist anymore, if it did at all. But the fact that humble cars like these have outlived their closest rivals is testament to their endurance and longevity. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Unlike coins or stamps that are controlled by a single government or monarch, cars were produced by thousands of innovative businessmen at the dawn of our great Western culture, harnessing the wisdom and creativity of the crowds. A true democracy. Traders went from pushing around a wheelbarrow on the dirty 18th century London backstreets to selling their products and services worldwide, and they used humble business cards and trade cards like these to spread the word years before television and Hollywood even existed. They were a form of viral marketing more than 2 centuries before YouTube videos of piano playing kittens and roller skating babies came along. Many ordinary people couldn't even read or write in the 19th century, so these humble picture cards with their brief descriptions on the backs provided effectively a Victorian Wikipedia, educating and inspiring the ordinary people years before the government made schooling compulsory. The great thing about these trade cards is they aren't just cards. They contain the seeds of man's very desires, hopes and fears, surviving for hundreds of years if most of humanity were wiped out tomorrow, and all his knowledge and dreams forgotten. All it would take is one lone survivor, with a belly of fire and a car collection to inspire, to rebuild man's greatest achievements and restart whole nations from scratch, rising like a phoenix from the ashes of the past. Please feel free to check out the largest collection of vintage trade cards and cigarette card videos online on my channel. And don't forget to come along to my card museum at creamofcards.com.